It's almost funny, the way your heart can break in the middle of a crowded room, and no one notices. Or maybe it's tragic, because he noticed and still chose not to stop me. I didn't plan to throw away the engagement ring that night. I didn't even plan to argue. But when your fiancé defends his ex-lover instead of you, it's not really an argument anymore. It's a revelation. The dinner party was supposed to be perfect. We had invited friends, colleagues, and even his parents' an early celebration of our engagement. The apartment smelled like roasted rosemary chicken and red wine, laughter filling every corner. I stood beside him, his hand brushing mine, and for a second, I thought this was happiness. Real, solid, forever happiness. Then his ex walked in. It was supposed to be harmless, an old college friend, invited through mutual circles, nothing more. At least that's what he told me. But the moment I saw the way his shoulders tensed and his eyes softened when their gaze met across the room, something in me cracked. I tried to ignore it, to hold on to him as the night wore on. But the conversation shifted, sharp words exchanged over some trivial topic, politics, art, I don't even remember. What I do remember is that when I spoke, when I stood my ground, he didn't stand with me. He stood with him. His ex chose to defend him, voice firm, eyes avoiding mine as if my opinion, my presence, my very love didn't matter. So I did the only thing that felt real in that moment. I slipped off the silver band circling my finger, set it gently on the table between us, and walked out of the apartment. I didn't look back, though my chest screamed at me to. New York streets at night are merciless. Cold wind, neon lights, the smell of rain on concrete. My heels clicked against the pavement, each step both heavier and lighter than the last. He didn't chase me. That hurt the most. The next morning, I sat in a cafe on Fifth Avenue, fingers wrapped around a lukewarm cup of coffee I hadn't touched. My phone buzzed with messages I didn't dare open. Friends, family, maybe even him I couldn't bear to know. I just stared at the window, watching strangers pass, each of them living lives untouched by the storm that had swallowed mine whole. I thought about us, about the late-night drives where he'd rest his hand on my thigh, the whispered promises under blankets, the ring he slipped onto my finger with trembling hands. Had all of it been a lie? Or worse, had it been real, only to be undone by one glance from someone who used to hold his heart? The thought made me sick. And yet, deep down, I wanted him to walk through that cafe door, to beg me to stay, to tell me I was worth fighting for. But the door only opened for strangers. 2 weeks passed. I buried myself in work, in gym sessions that left my muscles aching, in nights spent staring at the ceiling until dawn painted the sky pale gray. My friends tried to reach me, but I pushed them away. I didn't want pity. I wanted him. And then one evening, when the city was drowning in golden sunset, he appeared at my door. He looked broken. Not the polished lawyer I had fallen for, but a man undone, tie loosened, eyes bloodshot, lips trembling as if words were knives lodged in his throat. "I shouldn't have let you walk away," he said, voice hoarse. I froze. The door frame felt like the only thing holding me upright. Part of me wanted to slam the door, to scream that it was too late. But another part, the foolish, aching part, wanted to drag him inside, press my face against his chest, and never let go. "Then why didn't you stop me?" My voice cracked despite my effort to sound strong. His jaw clenched. "Because I thought, if I chased you, it would mean admitting how badly I had hurt you. And I couldn't face it. Not then." I laughed, bitter and sharp. "So you chose cowardice over love?" His silence was answer enough. But then, slowly, he stepped closer. His hand lifted, hesitant, until his fingers brushed mine. The touch sent fire up my arm, the same fire I had missed for weeks. "Please," he whispered. "Let me explain. Let me fight for us. Just one more chance." I wanted to say no. I wanted to protect myself. But the truth was, I had never stopped loving him. And maybe, just maybe, love was worth one more risk. I let him in that night, against all better judgment. The apartment still smelled faintly of the cologne he had left behind weeks ago, and seeing him standing in the doorway made every wound feel fresh again. Yet, behind his weary eyes, there was something raw, something almost desperate. We sat across from each other in silence for a long time. The space between us was heavy with unsaid words, with memories pressing against the walls like ghosts. Finally, I broke the silence. "You don't get to just walk back in here and expect everything to be fine," I said. My voice was steady, but my chest throbbed with every beat of my heart. "I don't," he admitted quickly. "I don't expect forgiveness, not right away. But I can't lose you. Not like this." His hands trembled as he spoke. "That night when I defended him, it wasn't because I love him. It's because I didn't know how to separate the past from the present. He was a part of me once, and I thought being kind meant holding on to that. But it was you." He stopped, swallowing hard. "It was always you. I wanted to believe him. God, I wanted to. But the image of him standing on the opposite side, choosing his ex, burned too brightly in my mind. You humiliated me," I whispered. "You made me feel like I was second choice. Do you have any idea what that does to someone who gave you everything?" His eyes closed, his jaw tightening. "I know, and I hate myself for it. Every day since you walked out, I've hated myself. I should have defended you. I should have stood by you." That ring, his gaze dropped to my bare hand, lingering on the absence of the band. "It belonged only to you." I turned away, my throat aching. "Words won't fix this." "Then let me prove it," he said quickly. His voice was quiet but fierce, the way it used to be when he argued cases in court. "Let me show you I can be the man who deserves you. Give me time. Give me the chance." I wanted to scream that I had already given him enough chances, that love shouldn't have to beg. But when I looked at him, truly looked, I saw more than the man who had hurt me. I saw the man who had carried me home drunk at 2 a.m., who left me post-it notes before work, who once spent an entire night fixing a bookshelf just so my books wouldn't collapse. Maybe broken things could still be mended. The days that followed were not magical, not like some fairy tale where everything resets. He didn't move back in. Instead, he called every night. We met for coffee, where conversations were halting at first, cautious. He apologized, often not just with words, but with actions. He showed up. He listened. He defended me in small moments, even when no one else was watching. Trust is fragile. But brick by brick, he began to rebuild it. One evening, as autumn painted New York in copper and gold, we walked through Central Park. The air was crisp, leaves crunching under our feet. He stopped suddenly, pulling me gently aside near the lake. His hands were shaking again, the way they did the first time he proposed. "I know I don't deserve another chance," he said softly, "but I'm asking anyway, because I can't imagine my life without you in it. Will you?" His voice cracked. "Will you take me back?" Tears blurred my vision. I thought about everything, the pain, the betrayal, the lonely nights. But I also thought about this moment, about the trembling in his hands, about the fact that he came back even when pride could have kept him away. I reached for him, slipping my fingers through his. "I'll take you back," I said, my voice steady this time. "But this time you stand with me. Always." Relief broke across his face like sunlight. He pulled me into his arms, holding me as if he would never let go again. For the first time in weeks, I felt safe. A month later, we hosted another dinner party in the same apartment where it all fell apart. My chest tightened as I set the table, memories threatening to resurface. But when the first disagreement sparked among our friends, something about music taste this time, I glanced at him nervously. He met my gaze, lifted his glass, and said firmly, "I stand with him, always." The words weren't dramatic, weren't shouted, but they were enough. Enough to undo weeks of pain, enough to stitch my heart back together. Later that night, when the last guest had gone, he took my hand and slipped the ring back onto my finger. It wasn't a grand proposal, just quiet, intimate hours. "This time," he whispered, pressing his forehead against mine, "I'll never let you doubt again." And for once, I believed him. Sometimes love isn't about never breaking. Sometimes it's about choosing over and over to mend what was shattered. He had chosen me too late that night, but in the days that followed, he chose me again and again. And maybe that was enough. I looked down at the ring, at the simple silver band catching the warm glow of the lamp. My heart no longer felt heavy, felt full. We weren't perfect. We weren't unscarred. But as he kissed me in the quiet of our home, I realized we didn't need to be. Because this time we were choosing each other completely, unapologetically, and without looking back. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.